live on both YouTube and LinkedIn. I figured it out. Yeah. Hello. Welcome. And I'm hearing myself. Why I'm hearing myself? Okay.
Because you need to mute yourself on some of
I
the
muted. I
links.
muted the LinkedIn. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming. This is another live session. It's Ask Me Anything, and we are live on YouTube and we are live on LinkedIn. Finally, yeah, I managed to do it after 2 failed attempts. I made it live on LinkedIn. Thanks for coming. The short information for you guys. I just kicked it off, and I will be back in 15 minutes. So yeah. You can kick it off, and then we can continue. Well, I can continue.
Yeah, you can continue. So I guess enjoy your thing, and then I'll see you in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'll be back in a second.
But don't worry, we have the best of the crew still here. Hey, Jakub, how are you?
Hey, Felix, how are you?
Oh, good. You're gonna compliment my new nose?
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. I didn't notice
Thank you,
anything.
Man. Yeah, it's on the inside, so it's a lot more beautiful on the inside, and that's really what matters. So now the doctor says in a few weeks I'll be able to do more sport because I can consume more air, and everything's going to be good again. Beautiful on the inside once again. And for those of you wondering, I got a nose job.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Great
my
that it went
septum.
great.
Yeah, thank you. So we have a lot of questions. Hello from LA. First question. Probably already my favorite question is, why is it called 2.5 Gamers? Are any of you a dwarf? Actually, it's funny you say that. So there's 2 reasons what we say is why we call ourselves 2.5 Gamers. The first one is that Matej is really short. He's been called. We used to call him Napoleon, but basically that's not the main reason. It's basically that Remia and Matej are really big gamers, and I'm a business ad person that puts the ads in the game. So basically, they say I'm the half a gamer because I also have a console instead of a PC.
Yeah, you could see the performance of Felix in a Helldivers episode.
Oh, anyway. Anything cool that's happened to you this week, Jakub? Like game design-wise, anything?
Game design-wise, I don't know. Like, there's so much anime games currently going around. I'm still playing Solo Leveling, by the way. It's amazing. It's like still pushing really hard. They're super generous. I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest, with Zenless Zone Zero. Like, I'm frank, I just kind of, I don't know, maybe I expected more or something, but it just seems kind of too much sauce, not enough meat for me. Even though the combat is the best thing ever I've seen, like best combat mechanic, but still, I don't know. I really would like to have some more conversations with like people around this. There are more into anime RPG genre than me. That like
you wanna know what my best admon hack? Because basically I've been in bed for 3 days this week because of the surgery, right? So I've been playing a lot of mobile games, and I found one absolutely amazing admon hack that I think is the
flight mode.
No, the most clever thing like done by a studio to increase ad revenue that I've seen, right? So I was playing a lot of Hexasort the last 2 days, and it's made by Lion Studios, which is owned by AppLovin, right? And they do this thing that they do basically, every time you exit the game and go back into it, so let's say you're playing a game and you basically go to Spotify and you change your song or whatever, as soon as you come back in the app, you get an app open interstitial. But basically what happens is you go back to the game, and then basically it says like movie break, and you get some 2 credit or whatever it is in the game, right? It doesn't really matter. And basically it's rewarded, but they tap into their interstitial inventory for it. So basically what they do is they really increase their interstitial impressions per DAU, because basically as many times you leave and come back to the app, that's as many interstitials as you see on top of the ones they have at natural breaks. So basically what should be an app open ad, they just stick an interstitial on there. And what I think they're also doing on that is they're making it a rewarded interstitial, because then they can tap into the Google and Meta rewarded interstitial inventory if you give a reward for it. So basically that increases the eCPM, and I think it's the most clever little thing I've seen so far. Like, that's just so easy to do, and I wouldn't even think of it. But I think we really need to cover Hexasorts because, super interesting.
Yeah, we'll definitely cover it. Like gameplay wise, is very good, and as I think we talked numerous times, we spoke to Berkay, the lead designer of that game, many times in Istanbul, He's a very
Yeah.
very clever guy. So can wait to actually get like our full review on that soon.
Yeah. Cool. What you want to start reading off a question, and then
Yeah,
I
we
can
can
read off the
continue.
next one.
So, any thoughts on the new Metal Slug game? I think they did a great job making the first 20 minutes of gameplay like the old school ones, but quickly inserting the player into their new monetization model. To be honest, this really missed me because I didn't play the Metal Slug one before. If I
You play the
understand.
original, right?
Oh, need to see it. Oh yeah. This one I played, like the crazy
Yeah.
guy with the shotgun thing, side scrolling. Okay, I maybe played it a little bit, but yeah, haven't seen anything with the new one, the Metal Slug Awakening. That's I guess the one. Yeah, no, haven't really kind of catch anything. But we're getting more and more of these like old IPs that are being revived in especially a free-to-play manner, like you see with like finally Dungeon and Fighter making 500 million last month in China. So that's going pretty well. I want to rephrase the question: what monetizing strategies are okay but are most straightforward and quick to implement? I guess that goes for you, Felix.
You think it's ad monetization strategies, or is it?
I guess so.
Why don't I start with ad monetization strategies, and then you can do with IAPs, right?
Yeah.
So basically, depends a bit what type of game you have, right? So what I always say when I speak to people is that the basic components, if you want to start making ad revenues, you need two main things, right? You need a lot of users, and you need a lot of users to watch a lot of ads, right? So banner ads are super easy to implement, and they're super good, but they don't pay out that much, right? So the key with banner ads is to have the banner ad unit always visible, like no matter what you're doing during gameplay or during any menus. Like I'm working with a client now that has an application, and basically the devs only implemented the banner on one of the menus out of four. So basically they're limiting themselves to earning like peak banner ad revenue because essentially you only have it on one of the menus when it should be on all. Like a banner should always be visible on all fronts. So that's the easiest I would say to do because it's just you stick it in. You don't need to think about the placements or like the stop. The main thing that you need to keep in control is just the refresh rate. Basically, on level play and max, you can set the refresh rate as low as 10 seconds. So basically, after 10 seconds, you change banner impression. And then on ad mob is 30 seconds. So basically, what you do there is you show more interstitials and you get more revenue, but the ECPM goes down. But then what happens is if you have that too low, basically, usually, even though all mediation platform says this doesn't happen, basically you have retention issues if it's too low. So I would say banner is the easiest if you have a lot of users to get like a high opt-in. The next one that's easiest after that, which is also a deal with the devil usually, is interstitials, right? So interstitials are, the 15-second videos that you can skip after 3 seconds. And these ad units typically the one that absolutely destroys retention, right? And what's good about this ad unit is pays out quite good ECPM, anywhere between like $7 to $12 is quite normal worldwide. Sometimes it's a bit lower if you have mainly organic. But the main thing that's good about these is you add them, and basically you're going to get a high ad viewer rate and a high opt-in rate. What I think, like games like we mentioned Hexasort before, like what they've mastered is basically to show the interstitial at like natural breaks, which doesn't hurt like retention as much. But the trick is here, you need to really get up into like 5 to 7 interstitial impressions per user if you want to start earning any real revenue. But then I would say like for monetization, the hardest one, but if you get it right, it's like the best one is rewarded ads. And rewarded ads is like no clear cut way to do it. But basically some metrics that I look at is ad viewer rate, anything below 45% is considered like that's the average if you're decent in your placements. And if it's below usually a 45% ad viewer rate, that usually tells me that either your placements are not prominent enough or that your rewards are not high enough. So yeah, that's what I say about that. But maybe you can add something about rewarded video, like what's some good placements, because that's more on the game design side, right?
The thing with rewarded video and everything what you just said pretty much implies that you have something more than the usual hyper casual core. So we need now a little bit of economy, a little bit of systems, a little bit of metagame progression, and we can ditch all those things that Felix mentioned, never use them again, and just use rewarded video. That's the first thing. And once we get a little bit more kind of persistence, within the economy, meaning that we have day 7 or day 30 retention or something. Of course, the natural way is go IAP, but don't ditch the ads for all of these things. Like, make sure that you at least utilize the ads as much as possible together with the IAPs. Like, don't do the usual like either ads or either IAPs. Like, you need to use both. But it's definitely much harder to create like a more robust game with higher, or let's say bigger meta game or any other kind of progression systems to kind of monetize off form. Yeah, and what Felix said, interstitials heavily reduce retention. That's just like basic facts. Use segmentation for this also. That's a good thing. Is remove ads IP not effective? Yeah, I don't think so. It's that effective regarding like you don't make revenue with this kind of one IP.
We worked with a few ones that do, right? But basically, I think the error that they made, right, is like they gave like the key here is you remove intrusive ads with an IAP. You never remove rewarded ads. And the
You
mistake
also
I've seen
have-
been made, yeah, but like sometimes you like have gaming companies that like the top selling IAPs remove ads because basically you get rewarded ads for free forever.
Yeah, but
And
those
that's
are
not
like
good
very
either.
high, like $20 and stuff.
Yeah.
That's also possible. Like, you can do those because it's literally $20 instantly. So yeah, but again, it depends on your overall profile of revenue. If it's mostly like IAP wise, because even if we cut the ad revenue out of the user by buying this, let's say, premium experience, how some games call it, you can still make a lot of money on IAPs on top of it. So it makes sense. But yeah, be very careful because this is literally going to the territory like sell everything button, which back in the early days of mobile games, some developers would like literally do, and that destroys your whole economy, your whole LTV, pretty much everything. So that's there. Hello from LA. Yeah, hello from Brazil. Hello from China. Yeah, China's definitely on the menu next week. We can wait to see you all at China Joy in Shanghai. We'll be there from 24th, if I understand correctly. Yeah, 24th Wednesday until Saturday. Always good.
What are you doing?
Reading the questions. Does it hurt the game if the banner ads reloads when you change scenes? I don't
Basically,
think
the
so.
best practice that you want to do is you want to have the same banner ad unit always, right? So if you change scene or you change menu, still the same banner ad unit so it doesn't reload. Because basically what you want is you want the refreshes to keep ticking up and not have to do a new auction essentially every time you switch between screens, right? So you want to have the same one that's just ticking up as many banner revenues as possible, right? So what hurts retention is when you have too low refresh rates. So if you have it at like 10 seconds, basically you switch from like yellow to white to black to whatever. Like, it's just annoying for users. So that's the part that hurts retention when it comes to banners.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um. Can we submit our game for review? We have trouble scaling up, but the quality is okay. Trust me. For sure, throw it into our Slack channel. Like, we can check it out at least. Like, I can't guarantee like a full game on review of like the podcast one we do, but it's always better to kind of share that within the Slack channel so other people can kind of also comment in, and we can also comment in for sure. That's not a problem. How is the game Idle Outpost by UpQuantum game doing in downloads and revenue? This is an interesting question because in the meantime, when Felix was talking about his ad strategy, I checked that. So thank you
Do
very much.
share the screen, because one of the questions was also if we're going to share some stuff from Sensor Tower, and we absolutely are.
So thank you very much, Gautam, for this tip. It's doing very well because it seems it's doing 70K a day by IAPs only, and downloads wise, it's yeah, it seems it's kind of scaled to something like 100K a day last month, but now it's downscaled, but still healthy 40K downloads a day. Let's check the active users. Yeah, they're still kind of scaling up. Oh, that's what, 500,000, literally nearly 500,000, like 300K,
Is this an idle
400K.
game? So basically, you probably double the revenue, probably.
No. What I see, yeah. This is like, I guess it will be heavy
Zombies.
ad-based game. No, man. Check this thing. You see what it is? You see the layout? You see what's happening here? Guys, who in the chat can guess the name of this game? That's the original source coming from. Whoever guesses that gets a really big game design
No,
point.
it's from the guy who was on the pod. I can't remember the first game they made.
Yes.
Yeah, what's it called?
Exactly.
The cooking one. Yeah, you worked on it. You worked on it.
I worked on this original
We Are
game.
Warriors. What's a precursor to We Are Warriors? Oh, I can't remember.
Anyone in the chat can guess the name? 3, 2, 1. Eat Venture.
Oh, Eat Venture. God.
Yeah, Eat Venture.
I just looked it up. Yeah.
So that's very clever. They actually went
Fucking
with.
hell. People are texting like where I am. Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah. Man, you've seen this game. We just got the tip.
I know, I opened it up. It's scaling like
Eat
crazy.
Venture with zombie team.
Yes, exactly. I saw it.
We should cover this. We should cover this after we get back from China.
Yeah, I started playing it and I was like, Adventure, zombies, fucking huge success.
Man, but you see, this supports my zombie theory.
I know,
use
yeah.
zombies on anything, and it might just make
Exactly.
Much more
Yeah,
money.
I know. I sent you, and God is my witness. I sent you idle outpost like 2 weeks ago
Yeah,
in our chat.
Missed it in the chat.
So because you don't care. So the
It's just
listeners
too
and
many
then
games,
everybody
to cover.
yeah, everybody in the comment section. I already pitched this game. But as you see, nobody cares.
But it seems it's like it's been soft launch last year, April.
It's been out for some time.
Yeah,
but look at the revenues.
Yeah,
do you know who's his buy? Who's his buy? Like who they're publishing for?
It was 1 second. I was playing it, and it's actually in.
It's not the Golden Goblins guy, right?
No. It's Rocketbyte Games.
Rocketbyte Games. Quantum portfolio, basically.
Rocketbyte Games developed it. It's in the first screen of the fucking game, Jakub.
Yeah.
Okay.
These Quantum is our publishers, like all.
No. I'm just looking. What's the So Golden Goblins is still their bigger game concerning IP revenue, but this is pretty much nearly as big already.
So Golden Goblins was 54% ad revenue. So let's just assume, without even touching the game, that's about 50-50
much
here
more than 50%. Like adventure type games make much more money on ads, I would say. You're muted, Matej, by the way.
Matej muted himself.
Maybe we shouldn't tell you, but it would be more fun.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's do. I think I saw a UA question somewhere, but we skipped it because you were whatever you were.
I'm actually working.
I'm at the one that the last one. Thanks very much for the tip. We're definitely putting that on the list, and we'll put it into the pipeline.
What do you mean? Thank you very much for the tip, you fucking idiot.
We would have never known about this if it wasn't for you. Thank you for the comment, Matej. Need the next one.
Jesus, why did it even get back?
We will be able to check games on Sensor Tower during this live.
Yes.
Of course, you just did that. Thank you. Thanks for doing this live, guys. Thank you also for coming and joining us. Can you talk about rewarded traffic, please? It gets promoted a lot at the conferences like MAU, but many people see it as black hat technique. What's your point on that?
What do you mean black hat technique? I mean, rewarded traffic, it's still like it was in the UA mix back in the days as labeled as offer wall, right? But now it's tricky only because I think few UA channels have the reward. Let's say players do reward or get a reward on day 7 and then they stop playing. That's the only issue that I'm seeing. But why is it a black technique? I'm not really sure. I mean, misplay is doing quite well. I mean, also like the traffic from misplay is doing quite well in terms of the quality, because I mean you are actually playing the game to get rewards, and then like they through the misplay app. So not sure like where is the black hat coming.
Felix, any comment on that?
Felix is checking emails. You see?
No. I was reading the next questions.
So black hat technique on incentivized traffic, or what was the question? Yeah, what's your opinion on that?
I sell it, right? So like I don't care if the users are unhappy or not. Like if they're not good. Like basically, what you say on the admon side is like best practices for implementing offer wall is you usually look at the first time purchase window, and basically you deduce like what that is. Is it 7 days, 10 days? And then what you do is you show the offer wall after whatever time period that is. And usually what's a good opt-in rate is like anywhere between 8 to 14%. But the key is that you need to have a good economy in your game before you implement it. Otherwise, no one's going to want to use it because, you know, if you're like 90% ads, no one's going to want to use it because you don't have an economy. Apart from that, like there's a couple of different ones between Offerwall. There's like Tapjoy and Digital Turbine. Those are the main classical ones. And there's a new upstart ones like Adjo. The way I understood it is that they're different in the sense that Tapjoy and Digital Turbine have a large group of the advertisers there are based on levels like that you need to pass in other games, and on Adjo it's based on time spent.
Yeah.
So some developers tend to prefer time.
Events,
events.
But he uses on time. So we have Tapjoy with the rewarded traffic. Then we have Misplay. Then we have Gamelight, which was kind of in the news. I know, in the news, which was a little bit. I would say
I don't like being tricked.
Yeah. So let's say, I mean, because it was quite hyped, and suddenly they became one of the top players in the rewarded space. And then we have tier rewards, and what else? And a few others. And I think even Protege, they have some rewarded traffic. So like there's plenty of things that you can do.
Okay. Yeah, by the way, for people writing the questions, there's a little bit of delay of when we see what you write and when actually our answers come back to you. So just saying, because I guess my adventure quiz went a little bit delayed.
Should I read this Mr. Tiger's question for you, Rima? Because it's 3 parts. So I'll just read it for you.
Yeah, I see it.
And basically, hey guys, question for you. We are a small team, 2.5 developers. Hero.
Woo! Nice.
We made a promising prototype casual hybrid game. Recently soft launched and have their results 45 to 50% day one. I'm assuming retention.
Yeah.
1 hour average playtime per user. Hero. D3 is bad because there is no content and features, just pure core with 10 levels. CPI Facebook in the US is $1.50. Google Play $2.50 on iOS. PI Facebook in tier 3 countries 15 cents. So we get there with 1,000 players plus minus. Publisher says that CPI is too high and we need to change something dramatically to make less than 70 cents in the States. What are your suggestions? So I guess it's a 2-part question for Matej.
Yes, get rid of the publisher. I mean, we are not even like in this era where, I mean, obviously the lowest CPI is better, but just, talk to different publishers as well. I mean, also day 1 is great, but what's the day 3 and day 7 afterwards, and 1 hour average playtime? That's quite a lot.
Let me take it a little bit from design side. So what it means, because you have very good day 1 retention, if the data is okay, it means that the core holds, because it's usually good. Day 1 is a reflection of the core. So it's fun, people return next day and they play. That's great. The problem with D3, because there's no meta, as you said, just 10 levels, whatever, that's usual. And it's supposed to be like that. The thing with these things is that you go step by step from day 1. If you solve day 1, which you solved already, you move to day 3, then you start on adding features and content, then you solve day 7, so on and so forth. Once you do these things until something like day 14, then you start solving monetization, because in the end, CPI doesn't matter. What matters is ROAS, if the thing is profitable, and if, you remember, like, for those watching us, every single one of these bigger publishers, what they told us, what they're checking on is ROAS. It's not CPI or day 1 or whatever. It's like if they can make money with the game. That's the ultimate goal in the end. So, I guess it really depends on what kind of publisher relationship you're in. If it's like pay for prototype or publishing only or support development, whatever, like these kind of relations. But my soonest answer would be like you still need to get to day 3, day 7 first.
Everything else doesn't matter.
This is no time for reducing CPI now.
Can I jump in as well? We have a spoiler alert, an episode with a big publisher coming out next Monday.
Well, you can say like Azure Games.
It's Azure Games, and basically the head of publishing for Azure Games comes on. We had a chat with him, and he said exactly what Remo's saying. Maybe you should send these benchmarks to him. Basically what he said is like the hardest thing is retention, and that's what they base all the decisions on. So maybe start with that and speak to Azure Games. That'd be a good start, I think.
Yep. We skipped that one there. Best resource to read and actually implement logic like leaderboard bucketing, PvP matchmaking, and similar backend logic design for both gameplay difficulties, level difficulties. I think there are few companies that do these things, if I remember. Like yeah. Just to be clear, we're in no any relationship with those, like regarding whatever sponsorships, files or whatever. But I know that
Are you covering your ass? Because
no,
you
I'm not
wanna
covering
just
it. I'm
mention
just like
someone,
being
but, like,
honest. What I'm saying is like I know these things are done by PlayFab or Heroic Labs or like some of these guys that pretty much you can search online and like read there. Because I get that like if you're a small team or something like that, you don't really want to develop that yourself. That's like for sure.
Takes
It's a good
ages.
decision. Do these things. Like I can't say which one is the best one or which one is to, the one to choose for you. Depends on your like specific contest, which we don't know. But still, I would really recommend going for this because you should focus mainly on developing the game, not the backend and these other kind of features around it. It just slows you down.
So what's the best resource to read and actually implement, like the PlayFab and Heroic Labs?
I guess that's the ones I know from top of my head.
But the resource is to read. So I guess
They have resources and
okay,
videos
they have okay, good, because I have no idea.
PlayFab is basically Microsoft these days, if I understand. It's under Microsoft.
Microsoft are in mobile? Since when?
And so Victor is asking.
Yeah,
could you
Microsoft
please-
Azure PlayFab is Microsoft.
Could you please take a look on REB game? The game is doing super good, and their only monetization strategy is RV. What is REB game? Let's see.
Yeah, Vitor, if you can write us the full name of the game, or just post the link in the chat, that would be great. I would definitely want to take a look.
Because everyone knows there's nothing more noble than ad revenue. It's the most egalitarian reward mechanism. What I mean with that is you give back to the greater gaming community by allowing people to find other games by showing ads.
Man, you
while
sound
earning money.
exactly like the actor from the movie Thank You for Smoking.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%, yes.
I showed that movie to my dad, who was a lobbyist, and I was like, "Was it like this?" He's like, "Yes, but
Victor,
you could do more."
the link is not coming through usually on
the chat
comment, in the comments,
Yeah.
So Don't Cars Brazil, like just it's okay. Who's the developed by? Maybe
Yeah, just full name of the company and the game. I guess that's what.
Is it the Rebel Racing by MTG at the moment? Because that's the only thing I found on Sensor Tower when I was looking for REB. Maybe if I just do.
Yeah. More updates are coming, but if you guys can share, love you guys keep posting.
Ah,
more.
yeah, I see it now.
Read the questions.
I'm just reading it. Like, there's like as I said, feel free to join the Slack channel and post your game there. We can at least feedback it in the Slack channel. That's like the fastest way to kind of get there. Yeah, Gotham, I guess, correctly answered that it was Adventures, as we were talking about Idle Outpost original inspiration. That's there. Is it worth to develop around IT, RV catchings, custom adapters in Waterfall, or just more networks integration helps in bidding ECPMs? Felix, this goes to you.
Can you read that question properly, and then I'll answer it?
Is it worth to develop around IT/RV catchings, custom adapters in Waterfall, or just more networks integration helps in bidding ECPMs?
All right. So what you need to realize is that the mobile mediation market is pretty much now dominated by AppLovin. And then after that comes Level Play, and after that comes AdMob. And then basically there's the rest of the market that's maybe 3%. What you need to understand about these players, the big ones, is that they're closed gardens, like they're walled gardens. And basically you have to be pre-approved as a network to be on there. Usually how they pre-approve a network, so it's basically like an adapter instead of a custom integration. It's usually based on size. But there's also a couple of large type of networks that are not available because of basically sometimes competitive reasons, sometimes other reasons, right? But there's still a lot of edge you can get by implementing approved custom adapters, right? And that's also usually where you get a lot of edge by doing it. But you got to keep in mind what's worth it, right? So I have a client I work with, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a day. For them, getting a custom integration that improves something by 8%, that's probably worth them $16K a day, right? So very much worth it, right? But if you're making $1,000 a day, you're going to make $1.6 more, right? So, oh, sorry, $16 more by doing the same like integration, which requires a lot of work, right? So usually what I say is until you get to like 40 or 50K a day, like don't bother with the custom integrations, because if you improve something by 5%, it's going to crash a lot of times. But like that's worth paying when you're earning 100K a day, not worth it when you're earning $2,000 a day. So like just use the pre-approved ones. So like the biggest hack I've seen lately is like you add Maloko, and that's approved bidder now everywhere, and that improves at ARPDAO by like 8 to 10%. It's decreasing now because it's getting bigger, so it's not as good as it used to be. But like, yeah, do that.
Look, Felix, one quick question about Moloko. The SDK, they're now opening
approved.
for everybody.
Yeah, they're approved on Max and Level Play and coming to AdMob soon, I'm hearing.
Does it mean it's gonna be Adroas quite soon? Campaigns, because that's what I'm thinking. Like as soon as I heard this, like, hey, very cool. Yeah, I know.
I'm expecting the quality to go down, because basically if they have more publishers that are getting onboarded, it's going to be less for the ones that were there earlier, right? So there is like in ad networks and adding them, there's definitely edge to being some of the first on something that really works.
Yeah.
And then, usually everyone finds out after 6 to 8 months, and then basically the edge is gone. But yeah.
Got it. Peter, so this is the game. Yeah, you mentioned like 6 million downloads, 0 revenue. So I guess it is
only
truly driven by ads. We do have retention numbers. So day one, it looks like it's 52, but it's US. So I'm not sure like what kind of
Brazil.
Yeah, I need to go to Brazil, which now makes more sense. It's 38% day one, then day 7.
The game is super old. It's 2018.
2018 is super old.
Released in 2018.
Okay,
that's 6 years, man.
I know. Let's say old countries. So yeah, it's I guess like 10. Everything, like all the money is made in like first 7 days.
Still have around 200K active users. So
okay, yeah, not
Felix,
bad.
you can run your magic here.
You can run your magic.
I haven't played the game. I need to, for rewarded, need to play the game to see the placement. So I can't
It's not like
just by looks of it, it seems it's your typical like some of these reminds me of Boombit games, like run around the town stuff. Yeah. That's definitely one of those where like one of these early games where you would have just like freedom like in GTA, and then you could do some kind of stuff there. But yeah, looks interesting, but I would say pretty old now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Funcraft. Let's say LinkedIn one now, because there's one question on LinkedIn also.
Is it?
Ooh. Hi guys, I've seen an increase in non-game ads on games. Felix, have you seen this with the companies you manage? Also, I've seen games target ads to non-games like music players, photo editing, and book apps. Matej and Jakub, have you seen more UA folks in gaming target more non-games? So the question is that there's more
non-game
ads within
games.
the games that our listener sees, and then if we see pretty much the same kind of trend elsewhere.
Let me share my thoughts on this, because I see it as well. I see it as well, right? But basically, the in-app ads market, the IAA market, this last 6 months has been the worst it's ever been since it was created, pretty much. Like the eCPMs are down like a lot. Like basically, even if you factor in like seasonal fluctuations, I think like majority of clients I work with are making anywhere between like 15 to 25% less like revenue just because of eCPMs compared to last year. So what I think is personally going on is like the shift to bidding is making basically inventory cheaper, but basically CPIs haven't changed, right, Matej? They're still the same, right?
Yeah, even worse.
So these networks are just pocketing the difference, right? So that's my theory, what's going on. But what this opens up as an opportunity means that less gaming companies, I guess, are advertising in the same levels, which opens up some of these slots for non-gaming apps. That's just a theory, but I'm seeing it as well. But yeah, maybe is not indicative of anything larger trend. Yeah.
In terms of like gaming targeting more non-games, not really, honestly. I mean, I'm getting a little bit more emails from apps to get some UA advisory, but that's basically it. And it's a very different thing than what you asked, I guess.
Yeah, like same for me. Like what we see by default is pretty much apps trying to get as much gaming knowledge, especially in context of monetization, IP monetization, and like increasing their retention revenue levels, whatever, by best practices from gaming industry. That's the movement that we see.
Yeah, but not like targeting gamers or non-gamers. It's just no.
Everyone is a gamer. Like what is it? Like 60% of people in the States play games.
Everyone's
like,
a gamer. You the half.
Yeah, you are the half gamer. That's a fact. That's a fact. So
I knew when I bought my PlayStation, I was going to get a lot of shit from you too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Of course. Okay. Funcraft have two games, Dice Words and Yahtzee. First one is reskin of Yahtzee. They are scaling one in Android and one in iOS. Why would they do this?
Well, it's always interesting to actually know what's happening behind the curtains. Can be a few different reasons. Different CPI, then scan conversion schema. Whatever on iOS is not working that well for one game, but is working on very well on the other one. So we don't really see under the hood. So if we see under the hood, no problem. Then we can answer this. Maybe we can ask Michael Martinez to come on the AMA next time we have this live.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, he'd be a good guest. We should have him Michael, on actually for we should have him on.
I have Michael. I know Michael. Yeah, so we can ask.
Yeah, you know him from LinkedIn, right?
No, I invested in the company.
Okay, so you're an investor.
So I should have more information about like.
You should have suggested that earlier. But, that's a great guest.
Trying,
yeah, it's scaling pretty well. Like Dice Words pretty much is doing
share the screen. Share the screen.
Share the screen. Yeah, like you're looking at something. Just share the screen. Jesus Christ. Vitor joined the Slack channel. Great, Vitor.
Yeah, welcome.
Great to have you there.
So Dice Words is doing something like 150K a month. That's for June. IP. Half of that is being done by Word Yahtzee, and then WordGrams is doing like 55K.
This is IIP only. They have shit ton of ads.
Of course,
shit ton of ads.
That's what I wanted to add. And then downloads wise, I guess let's check daily because I hate these months.
I hate word games. I hope we never have to review one because like I'm dyslexic as fuck and I feel so dumb.
Super high, like high CPIs. All word games are really high CPI.
From game design perspective, it's fucking nightmare because localization is everything.
Ooh, yeah.
Even British and American English, yeah.
So, but the traffic seems quite small. It's like 4K downloads a day.
Because it's high CPI.
Yeah, it's high CPI.
It's high CPI. It's really high CPI.
Yeah, so maybe that's the answer to the question. Because of so high CPI, they just like found their way and doing the thing as Shekar said.
Man, you know what we are gonna do? I'm gonna look at it a little bit
deeper,
deeper, and then answer it in the Slack channel.
Yeah, so maybe let's do that.
Yeah. Let's do that because I just don't want to spend 10 minutes on this because we could.
Meta games, what kinds are common and which types are good? Does it mean like progression types, or do I get the question right?
Maybe just Facebook games, the HTML5. I don't know.
Yeah, I would need more context in that question. Sorry.
Give us a little rope. Give us a little rope.
Yeah.
Meta games, of course, gacha rules everything. That's the thing. So do a gacha game. It's the best progression out there.
Anyway, there's an additional question. What happened with GameLight? Well, there was this rumor which was flying around. It's all fraud, but it wasn't really the case. The only thing was that they just kind of appeared out of nowhere and then became like a top 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever top kind of viewer channel in terms of rewarded apps, which was a little bit, I don't know, surprising.
Last time that happened, I worked for the company. It was fraud.
So That's why like there were rumors about this as being a fraud, but most probably it's not. And I mean, yes, they are.
Have you run
sponsoring
campaigns on
everything?
it?
No,
Have you? No.
not yet. But we know about one of our very good friends who is starting in the company at the end of next month. So maybe we will be able to get
Ooh,
some
do
more
share offline. I'm very
information.
curious.
Yeah, we might
Yeah.
be able to see a little bit more
Okay.
information.
Question: do you guys make one-on-one consulting? What is the price for an hour session? I want to learn systems, vectors, magic from Jakub, and UA admin tips from Matej and Felix, of course.
Yes, we do.
Yes,
It's
we
called
do.
it's called AMA.
That's around free.
Yeah,
But yeah, honestly, like if you need anything, like feel free to reach out either in the Slack or LinkedIn. That's the fastest way to catch us, and we can talk from there as usual.
yeah.
Like that's our for everybody to know. Even though it doesn't seem like we spend all our time on doing these podcasts now that we do two
It's
times
true.
a week, we still have a full-time jobs as consultants. If you didn't know,
I was on a call with the company. We just signed the deal, and it's like, so I didn't know you were a consultant. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I guess we need to stress that at
Wow,
some
like
point. because
how?
I also
mean,
got these things like, are you consulting or doing a podcast? Like,
No, I run
both?
an ice cream company. No.
yeah. I was like, and then he said, I mean, it's not that, like anything negative. It's just I was just reading the description, and then I saw like, oh, you're actually doing consulting. Like, we all are. We all are. It's not a secret.
Yeah,
but
we all
yeah.
are.
So yeah, just reach out, and we can definitely talk. Then-
Camera simulation game. Yeah, I was right. That's there. Thank you, Vitor.
We have this
follow-up.
game that are still in optimizing phase. We want to hear you guys feedback
Yeah,
on
that's
this.
I also answered that. Spade said that. That
Spade.
I like, post the game in our Slack channel.
Yeah.
that's the best kind of thing.
Yeah. Please.
Follow
please
up on
do.
the backend logic question. I want to develop the thought process to building company bot difficulty tunings, assuming word puzzle genre games, suggest some sources. I'm sorry. I'm just
Bro, you're reading this so weird, man. I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm just trying to like understand. The thing is basically more sources for word games and these kind of backend logic systems. But I would just kind of Google some stuff.
What do you mean word games? There's no word games in
word
mentioned.
puzzle genre games.
Okay,
it's there.
sorry, it's there.
You
Yeah,
can
sorry.
read. I can
can't
read.
Yeah, I can't read.
Yeah, what I'm saying, I have worked only on few during my career and only very briefly. What I know is that they're very specific because of their localization problems. Localization is everything with word games, which is giant can of worms. Like, sorry, that's how it is. But yeah, read more on that online. I
Just
would
use Google
suggest that.
Translate.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, as I said, feel free to post the question also in our Slack channel. Maybe somebody there who has a word game can answer that to help, like, give a better direction.
And include a funny meme as well. We like memes. Yes.
We do like memes and great hooks as well. And anyway, there's the question: does localize text assets in ASO really matter? Well, yes and no. Yes, in terms of like small improvements in terms of the conversion. No, in terms of if you don't have localized creatives and if you don't have localized game, it really doesn't matter that much, because if you are showing English creative, then players are coming into, I don't know, Spanish store, and then they come into the game and they have English again. It's more confusing rather than helping you in converting people. Also, I mean, if you have localization in the game, it's good. You can also localize the store and then localize the assets as well. In terms of localizing creatives, I do recommend using this on maybe SDK networks like geo-specific campaigns, maybe on Google as well. On Facebook, I usually group countries together, so I always run English creatives. And also, if it's not narrative or whatever, it doesn't make the difference that much.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest.
Hi guys, what do you do to target high value users for your game on Facebook and third party ad network better?
It's called a fishing rod. No, it's just value optimized campaigns always on Facebook. You do need to have some data on the purchase side, so if your account is new and game is new, you need to have what I think like 50 purchases or 100 purchases to get actually unlock the VO campaign, value optimization. The same is on Uplavin, Unity, wherever else. On Unity, you need to run CPI campaign first to get 10 unique purchases to unlock ROAS optimization. On Uplavin, you need to have at least 10 daily unique purchases. 10 unique purchases per day to optimize the campaigns properly, just for algo to get some
Wait,
data.
Sorry, explain that to me, because I'm just so. If you don't have 10 purchases from an app loving campaign, they can't optimize on ad ROAS.
They can, but
it's gonna
die. The campaign is gonna die because it doesn't have enough events per day to actually get and search for like the pairs in their inventory. So from the start, you still need to get like at least like 10 per day on the campaign level. If you don't, then you can have the campaign spend like fluctuate a lot. So if you have 10, it's stable, and then you can learn blah blah blah, like this like algorithm bullshit. If you have less, you won't be able to spend almost anything. I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense, because then the algo is trying to find similar users from what you are getting from the campaign. And if it's not a lot of users, then it's just like shoots anywhere. Spray and pray.
Basically. That's it? I'm just like, okay. Did you see the latest VC-backed studio game announcement, Splitgate? I'm trying to research
shooter game from 2019.
No, I think it's correct me if I'm wrong, Jan, but I'm just researching this in the meantime as Matej was fishing.
I was fishing for how.
And there's this announcement from today, which says Splitgate 2 team discusses continuing series and how they improve the sequel, because Splitgate raised
it was cancelled. You remember?
What was cancelled?
The original Splitgate. The game is like 1047 company. They were doing this game, raised so much money, like the 100 million. Then they canceled the game because shit. So now like they just released this. Yeah, you're far ahead. I didn't read this yet.
See? So
it's always a good sign when someone raises a lot of money and don't release anything. That's really good.
It's called usually Web3. So what does I just like heard it first time. I know the game. I've seen it when it was like trending.
Early access.
Yeah, it was pretty much like a shooter that took the portal mechanic where you can shoot portals and like go through them. That's great. But I still have problems with these things that blow up on Steam or wherever because of some kind of a gimmick, and they go a giant shark fin, which
are you talking about Helldivers?
No, I'm talking. No, Helldivers is Helldivers is. Let's not call it about Helldivers.
Dude, it's not a shark fin bait. It's like a slow death because there's really boring when you play it for longer than 20 days.
There's a problem with content production. That's different. But Splitgate, I think it's just. I don't think so. Like you can, carve out your
Yang
market
is making
share.
fun of us. Yang is just making fun of us.
Usually do the thing is that with this kind of whatever like tricky gimmicky mechanic, I don't think so you can carve out your market share within like the big boys club in the shooter genre, because shooter genre is very, very hard to get off. So I don't know what's happening here. I guess it's the usual people throwing money at stuff that seems great, and it's not really great when they actually try to build it up. But yeah, let's see. Can really think like how this will end. Hey, Vasco.
Question for Felix.
Knowing that eCPMs are decreasing, how can a studio with that as a main source of their revenue decrease their losses? So, my friend, basically what you need to do is...
Close the shop.
No, you don't close shop. Basically, you look at the last 7 days of revenue per ad unit, and then basically you go by network, and everything that's below 3% to 5%, you kick that network out because they're not adding anything to the competitiveness. So basically that makes your stack more competitive and basically more optimal. And then you try to add sources that basically improve and increase the competitiveness of the stack. So everything below 3 to 5% share revenue, just get it out. And then you start by adding new source until you find something. So the trick is you want to find something that others don't have or that has a large demand pool. So basically, what the large gaming companies are doing now is they're looking for alternative sources of demand that are outside the traditional mediation approved networks. And basically, yeah, they're very secretive about this because basically, if you find something, it's really good and you can make it work.
Again, this bullshit.
So you're
it's
dead.
true. No, not dead. No, it's just like be ruthless. Remove networks that don't add any value, and try new networks. Try a new network
okay, so
every
mushroom
quarter.
theory.
Yeah,
Use
yeah,
mushroom
yeah.
theory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Mushroom it. Feed
Okay.
them shit and keep them in the dark.
Okay. My manager always push me to localize as much as possible to acquire more organic installs. Is it practically true? Speaking of text asset localization.
Yeah, it's true on paper. The thing is, you can localize and then play around with the text and put keywords inside and just get more like visibility. In reality, it doesn't really translate to a big uplift. So you would need to spend a lot of your time to actually optimize and manage the localization, and like ideally work with someone who can actually speak that language. Because for example, if I want to improve, I mean, you can improve your store rankings and listing in US when adding like Mexican, Spanish, whatever localization and store assets in there, so you can rank for more keywords. But you would need to speak Spanish to be able to actually make that work. I'm not saying you are not, but you get the point. So it's not like you localize everything and then just leave it there, and then suddenly magically you will rank for different keywords. You need to really work with those keywords. You need to know like how to properly work with them.
So
That's
not
what I'm saying.
as usual, no silver bullets, basically.
No, yeah, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm fluent in Spanish, so I can without any problem. Hola. Yeah, sure.
I understand the CPI is lower in third world countries, but does this mean that the gains by ad placements will be lower as well for the same countries?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's move on. Is Apple imposing the zero blended ROAS campaigns?
Blended ROAS campaign, my
Blended
friend.
ROAS campaigns. It was working great, but it's working very poorly last 15 days. I had to start these 7 ROAS, but that is not working well compared to day 0. Yeah, Mr. Magic.
Shit, I can't even spell that.
I don't think they're pausing the day 0 blended ROAS campaign, but they're pushing towards the day 7, and you know why? Because always you need 2 or 3 cycles for the campaign or the algorithm to learn properly. With day 0, it means it's 3 days. With day 7, it means it's 3 weeks. Hello, come money to
spend money with me.
spend money so we can earn more money. I mean, this is just like very high level
speculation.
fun and speculation, but it makes a lot of sense. That's why they're kind of pushing the day 28 IIP ROAS campaign as well.
Sounds like the company I know.
Yeah. If you think about it, it's not that far from the truth. So, but now, honestly, I see quite a good performance on day 7. On day 0, not that much anymore. But I'm kind of combining those campaigns with the day 1 ROAS campaigns as well. So it's. I don't think they're pausing them, but they will push towards what they want you to spend on. Let's just end with that.
Goodbye, Amplify.
I'm already there.
Okay. All these 100+ million funded companies usually do well, especially
that's
when
Young
funded.
makers,
Thanks, Young.
What tool to use? A funny guy.
Yeah. What tool to use to make playable ads? I think Matej already linked it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's my tool. So.
Shameless plug.
Like honestly, there are like multiple different things like Luna Labs, and there's one other thing. This is you can play around with this because I need feedback, and there's like 2 playables for free. So just go there and then and play around with this. It's basically just from videos you can make playables afterwards easily. So
okay, not to be the AI person in the room, but ChatGPT works great for localizing some assets and culture too. Thanks, Vitor.
Nice, yeah. Okay.
I speak Portuguese, and the work did as not as bad. Yeah.
You speak Portuguese? What the fuck? You don't even speak English, apparently.
I'm thinking about 3 things at the same time. Man.
Yeah, Mr. Veiko.
What is the best so far strategy for a brand new puzzle title that focus on IP revenue ratio at least 70 to 80 is IP? Do you guys have any suggestion strategy network wise?
Jesus Christ, man! Like this is a question for me sitting down for like 5 hours to actually create the strategy. But honestly, there's only like framework you can use: Facebook, Google, Uplavin, Unity as well for puzzle kind of title with 80% IIP. These 4 will do the trick. You need to check the countries. I would say for puzzle, female-oriented game. Philippines for tech, then most probably like France, Italy, Spain for retention, and then some maybe Nordics or Netherlands, and then afterwards absolutely UK for monetization. And it's just like speed run, soft launch speed run on the top of my head.
Okay. Any other questions? I think we run out of.
I need
for
to
now.
hop off in exactly
we
2
need
minutes.
to, yeah. Don't worry, like this is
I need
one
to take
hour.
my nasal drops before my next meeting, because otherwise my nose gets really dry. No joke. They're right here.
No joke. Yeah, no joke. Because you had the surgery. So Google enabled machine learning translation directly in Google Play a few days ago. Thank you very much. I didn't know about this.
I didn't even know you had a playable making company. When did you do that?
Some months ago, I posted it in the channel, and I posted it actually in the last AMA as well. So I know like now you're actually checking the emails.
We need the meme where Matej is posting something and there's like tumbleweed.
Yeah, tumbleweed. Yeah, it's like every time, like you're ignoring all the messages.
I would never ignore you. Just your messages.
Just my messages. Perfect. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. The listeners, like this is exactly how it works. I talk about the game and then nobody cares.
Thank you very much for this, guys. And dwarf.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, I was the dwarf. Okay, thanks.
We didn't say that.
Yeah, of course. We didn't say that. Yeah,
We said
we said Napoleon.
Napoleon. Okay, yeah. We are like, you know, like you are in the channel, but I can very easily remove you. So be careful.
Napoleon, proving a point.
No, like jokes aside, like guys, thank you very much for coming. It's we are doing this every month. In June, obviously it was June. We didn't do it. We will do it again in August and the upcoming months as well. And there's one last question, because then we need to close the live stream. What do you do if you try any new creatives, but ad network refuses to push traffic for new creatives? Well, I mean that's what happens almost all the time, because you have one creative winner. You just need to test a lot of different things and kind of understand like why the the creative winner is the winner, and then like change maybe the hook, then do like some kind of iteration. I had this problem mainly on Facebook, but as soon as you find that new winner, don't try 100 plus creatives. It's not gonna work that much. Anyway, Spade, let's take this into our Slack channel.
Yep.
Again, thank you really for coming, and see you next month. Cheers.